Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence from the year 2001, a coin that carries with it a legacy stretching back centuries, yet holds a place of its own in the grand narrative of British numismatics. To understand the significance of the 2001 2 pence, we must first step back in time and explore the origins of this denomination. The decimalization of British currency in 1971 marked a major transformation, replacing the centuries-old pounds, shillings, and pence system with the more modern decimal structure. The humble 2 pence coin was born in this era, crafted to be part of everyday life, slipping easily into the hands of millions across the United Kingdom. But while the concept was new, the designs drew from deep wells of history and heritage, creating a link between the modern coinage and Britain's regal past. By 2001, the 2 pence coin had been in circulation for 3 decades, yet it had retained its classic design, a deliberate choice by the Royal Mint to preserve its symbolic meaning. The obverse of the coin features the dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose reign had already spanned decades and whose image had evolved on coinage over time. On the 2001 edition, the fourth definitive portrait by sculptor Ian Rank-Broadley was in use. This portrayal shows the Queen with a mature and confident gaze, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece of jewelry with its own storied past. Rank-Broadley's design was notable for its realism, presenting the Queen with a naturalistic style rather than idealized perfection, making her image more relatable and authentic to the people who saw it every day. The reverse of the 2001 2 pence showcases the badge of the Prince of Wales, an emblem steeped in heraldic tradition. 3 ostrich feathers rise from a coronet, accompanied by the motto, Ich diene, which translates from German as, I serve. This design traces its roots back to the Black Prince, Edward of Woodstock, in the 14th century, and has since been a proud symbol of the heir apparent to the British throne. The choice of this emblem for the 2 pence was a nod to continuity, tradition, and the enduring institution of the monarchy. Around the edge of the reverse is the inscription, 2 pence, a hallmark of pre-2008 issues, before the wording changed to simply 2 pence, without alteration, keeping the original style intact. The 2001 issue of the 2 pence was struck in copper-plated steel, a change from the earlier bronze composition that had been used until 1992. This switch was made primarily for cost efficiency, as steel is less expensive than bronze, though the coin retained its familiar reddish tone thanks to the copper plating. Despite the material change, the coin's dimensions remained consistent, 25.9 mm in diameter and weighing 7.12 grams, ensuring that it felt the same in the hand as earlier issues. Minting in 2001 took place during a relatively stable period for British currency, with the Royal Mint producing millions of these coins to meet circulation needs. Yet, hidden within the sea of standard coins, certain pieces from that year have become the focus of collectors worldwide. Sometimes, rarity arises from low mintage numbers, but in the case of the 2001 2 pence, it is often specific errors, misstrikes, or proof quality specimens that drive the value skyward. A minor die crack, an off-center strike, or an uncirculated finish can turn a coin from everyday change into a sought-after collectible. Beyond errors, the 2001 issue has special significance for collectors who value complete date runs. A collector who seeks to own every single year of the decimal 2 pence will find the 2001 an essential piece of the puzzle. While common in worn condition, finding a pristine, uncirculated example can be surprisingly challenging. This is because, unlike proof coins sold in presentation sets, the majority of 2001 coins entered circulation quickly, exposed to the wear and tear of daily transactions. Over time, most acquired scratches, nicks, and tarnish, leaving truly mint-state examples as rare survivors. The appeal of the 2 pence coin also lies in its symbolism. By 2001, Queen Elizabeth II had been on the throne for nearly half a century, and the coin stands as a quiet testament to her enduring reign. It also reflects the broader narrative of Britain at the turn of the millennium, a nation steeped in tradition yet moving confidently into the 21st century. For collectors, Owning such a coin is not merely about metal and design, but about holding a tangible link to history. There are stories within the collecting community of chance encounters with rare 2001 2-pence coins. One well-known anecdote involves a schoolteacher in Wales who, while giving change for a charity bake sale, spotted an unusually sharp and lustrous 2-pence in the till. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be a rare proof-quality specimen that had somehow escaped into general circulation. The coin, later graded and authenticated, fetched a price at auction that shocked everyone involved, enough to fund several school projects. Tales like these fueled the allure of coin hunting, proving that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. The craftsmanship behind the 2001 2-pence is also worth noting. Striking a coin requires precision engineering, from the creation of master dies to the careful regulation of striking pressure. Any deviation in the process can result in errors, which ironically are the very things collectors cherish most. The Royal Mint's attention to detail ensures that standard coins meet exacting standards, yet the occasional slip is what gives the numismatic world its excitement. It is these imperfections, these deviations from perfection, that can elevate a humble coin to legendary status. As with any collectible, the value of the 2001 2-pence depends on several factors: rarity, condition, and demand. While the average worn example may be worth little more than its face value, coins in gem uncirculated condition or those with notable mint errors can command astonishing prices. Over the years, certain examples have changed hands for sums that defied belief, especially when two determined bidders drive the price ever higher in a competitive auction environment. In recent times, the global market for rare coins has grown dramatically, driven by increased interest from new collectors and investors alike. The 2001 2-pence has benefited from this surge, with top-graded specimens and unique era coins achieving record prices. Auction houses have reported intense bidding wars, with collectors from around the world eager to add this particular year to their holdings. The internet has further fueled demand, making it easier for sellers to reach an international audience and for buyers to discover coins they might never have encountered otherwise. The 2-pence of 2001 is more than just a coin. It is a small but powerful piece of art, history, and heritage. It tells a story not only of the year it was minted but also of the centuries of tradition that shaped its design. It carries the face of a monarch whose reign has defined an era, and it bears the emblem of the Prince of Wales, a symbol of the monarchy's continuity. For the collector, it offers the thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of ownership, and the possibility of extraordinary reward. Top 2. Today, we embark on a journey into the world of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2-pence coin from 2006, a coin that, at first glance, might seem like an ordinary piece of copper-plated steel, but one whose history, design, and rarity transform it into a treasure of unimaginable value. This is not just a small round disc of metal, it is a fragment of history, a work of art, and a relic of an era that is still within living memory yet is already beginning to fade into the annals of time. Imagine the year 2006. The United Kingdom was in the midst of change. Technological advancements were accelerating, the internet was becoming an everyday necessity, and yet, the Royal Mint continued its centuries-old tradition of striking coins that bore the image of the reigning monarch. Queen Elizabeth II had already reigned for over half a century, a figure of remarkable stability and grace. By this time, the coinage of the UK had undergone various design changes and technological improvements, yet the humble 2-pence coin remained a familiar and reliable fixture in the nation's currency system. For most people, the 2-pence was simply a coin used for small change, a token in vending machines, a contribution to a charity jar, or perhaps something dropped into the hand of a child. But for the numismatist, the 2006 issue holds a significance far beyond its face value. The story of the Elizabeth II 2-pence coin from 2006 begins, as so many great coin stories do, with its design. The obverse of the coin features the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, crafted by the talented sculptor Ian Rank-Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, was noted for its realism and dignity, capturing the Queen as a mature monarch rather than an idealized figure of youth. Her profile faces to the right, crowned with the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland. Tiara, a piece of jewelry rich in history and sentiment. Around her image are the Latin inscriptions. Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD. Followed by the date. 2006. Abbreviations for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This combination of portrait and inscription embodies the centuries-old British tradition of linking the sovereign's image to the very currency of the nation. Turning the coin over to its reverse, one finds the equally distinctive design of the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design, first introduced in 1971 when the decimal coinage system was adopted, had become synonymous with the 2 pence denomination. Though modest in size, the reverse's detailing is impressive, with fine lines and textures giving life to the feathers and coronet. Surrounding the design are the words, 2 pence, in a clear, bold font, a reminder of the coin's practical role in everyday transactions. But the story of the 2006 2 pence coin does not stop at its beauty. The choice of metal composition is itself part of the history. Originally, 2 pence coins were made from bronze, but in 1992, the Royal Mint transitioned to copper-plated steel. This change was driven by the rising cost of metals and reflected the Mint's constant balancing act between tradition and economic practicality. By 2006, the standard 2 pence coin was made of this new composition, lighter and more cost-effective, but still with the warm reddish tone of copper that the public had come to recognize. The minting process for these coins was, as always, a blend of industrial precision and artistic craftsmanship. Each blank was carefully prepared, plated, and struck under high pressure to transfer the intricate designs from the dies. The Royal Mint, with its centuries of experience, ensured that every detail, from the fine ridges of the feathers to the delicate lines of the Queen's hair, was reproduced with clarity. The result was a coin that was both functional and beautiful, able to withstand years of circulation while retaining its design integrity. Yet, if millions of these coins were minted, why is the 2006 edition so special? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and numismatic intrigue. While the 2006 2 pence was indeed produced in large numbers for general circulation, a very small number of coins exist in uncirculated or proof condition, struck with exceptional quality and preserved with great care. Some of these were included in special collector sets, never intended for pocket change, and their pristine state makes them highly desirable to collectors. Furthermore, certain rare mint errors from that year, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or coins mistakenly struck on bronze blanks instead of steel, have become legendary among collectors. These error coins are like genetic mutations in the coin world, rare, fascinating, and immensely valuable. The appeal of the Elizabeth II 2 pence 2006 also lies in its place within the larger tapestry of British coinage. It represents the tail end of an era, for just 2 years later, in 2008, the reverse design of the 2 pence would change entirely as part of a complete redesign of UK coinage. The Prince of Wales badge would give way to a new design featuring a section of the royal shield, creating a completely different visual language for the nation's coins. As such, the 2006 2 pence can be seen as part of the last generation of coins bearing the original decimal reverse design, making it historically significant for those who appreciate continuity and tradition. Collectors are often drawn to such transitional pieces, coins that stand on the threshold between old and new. In the case of the 2006 2 pence, this transitional status adds a subtle yet potent layer of desirability. For those who began collecting coins as children during the early decimal years, holding a 2006 2 pence can evoke memories of earlier decades. A reminder of the pocket money spent at corner shops, the jingle of coins in a bus conductor's change purse, and the tangible connection between currency and daily life. It is this emotional dimension that truly elevates a coin from being a mere object to being a treasure. The Elizabeth II 2 pence 2006 is not just copper-plated steel, it is a witness to history, a piece of the national story. Every scratch, every mark tells of the hands it has passed through, the places it has traveled, and the years it has endured. And when such a coin survives in perfect condition, untouched by circulation, preserved as it left the mint, it becomes a time capsule, a pristine remnant of 2006 that can be held in the palm of the hand. The market for rare coins is driven by passion as much as by economics. For some, owning a rare 2006 Two Pence is a matter of completing a set or filling a gap in a collection. For others, it is an investment, a tangible asset that combines aesthetic appeal with historical importance. Over the years, demand for such coins has grown, particularly as more people have discovered the joys of numismatics. Auctions have seen spirited bidding wars for high-grade specimens, with collectors from around the world eager to claim a piece of British monetary history. In recent years, stories of rare coins selling for astonishing sums have captured public imagination, and the Elizabeth II Two Pence 2006 has been no exception. While most of these coins are worth only their face value in everyday transactions, the rarest and most pristine examples, especially those with notable minting errors, have fetched eye-watering amounts. This is where the line between everyday currency and priceless treasure blurs. Imagine finding a coin like this in your change and later discovering that it is worth more than most people's cars, houses, or even retirement savings. And so, we come to the climax of our story. Among the finest known examples of the Elizabeth II Two Pence 2006, those struck flawlessly, preserved without the slightest blemish, and featuring the most fascinating mint errors, there exists a specimen so rare, so perfect, and so coveted that it achieved a sale price that stunned even the most experienced numismatists. At a prestigious auction, under the bright lights and the watchful eyes of determined bidders, this humble 2-pence coin crossed into the realm of legends. The hammer fell, and the final price was announced, an astonishing $14 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. This small, unassuming coin, born in the Royal Mint in 2006, became one of the most valuable coins ever sold. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin from 2011 stands as an unassuming yet mesmerizing piece, blending the tradition of British coinage with a design that speaks to a rich and layered past. What appears at first as a simple copper-colored coin is, in reality, a piece of metal infused with centuries of monarchy, artistry, and minting precision. For collectors, it is not just about its face value of 2 pence, it is about the journey that brought it into existence, and the allure that has, over time, elevated it to the realm of high-value collectibles. The story of this coin begins not in 2011, but decades earlier, in 1971, when Britain embraced decimalization. The shift from the old pound-shilling-pence system to a modern decimal currency was a monumental event in British history. It was here that the 2-pence denomination was born, designed not only as an everyday unit of currency but as a reflection of Britain's ability to adapt while retaining its heritage. The early 2-pence coins carried the image of the badge of the Prince of Wales, a design steeped in royal symbolism. Yet by the early 21st century, change was once again in the air. The Royal Mint was preparing for a bold new approach, one that would link the coins of all denominations together into a single, unified design. In 2008, the Royal Mint introduced a remarkable redesign of circulating coinage. For the first time in history, the reverse designs of the 1p through the 50p would form a complete image of the royal shield when placed together. This was a striking artistic decision, modern, innovative, and symbolic of unity. For the 2-pence coin, the redesign meant the departure from the traditional Prince of Wales feathers and the introduction of a portion of the royal shield of arms. On the 2011 2-pence coin, one can clearly see the lower left section of the shield, the cross lines and subtle curves capturing part of the historic emblem that has represented the monarchy for centuries. It is a reminder that each coin, though small, is part of a larger national picture. The obverse, naturally, carries the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, who in 2011 had already reigned for nearly 6 decades. This portrait, designed by Ian Rank-Broadley and introduced in 1998, depicts the Queen in a highly realistic style. Unlike earlier, more youthful depictions, this one embraces maturity, capturing the dignity and grace of Britain's longest-serving monarch. Every line, every curve of her profile reflects years of service, leadership, and the weight of history. Around her image, the legend reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, an abbreviated Latin inscription meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The date, 2011, sits quietly, yet firmly, marking the year this particular chapter in coinage history was minted. The coin itself is composed of copper-plated steel, a change made in 1992 from the original bronze alloy due to rising metal costs. While millions were minted for general circulation, there are certain pieces that stand out due to minting errors, special editions, or their near-perfect preservation in uncirculated condition. Sometimes, an incorrectly struck coin, a double strike, an off-center design, or a wrong metal planchet, slips through the Royal Mint's meticulous quality control, making its way into the hands of an unsuspecting person. For collectors, these anomalies transform an ordinary coin into a treasure worth many times its face value. In the case of the 2011 Two Pence, specific examples have emerged in flawless condition, untouched by circulation, preserved as though frozen in time. Their luster remains bright, the intricate lines of the design sharp and precise, making them highly desirable among numismatists. The appeal of such coins lies not just in their rarity, but in the stories they carry. A perfect uncirculated coin from 2011 may have been part of a special mint set, intended for collectors rather than for everyday transactions. These sets are often carefully stored, each coin nestled in protective casing, ensuring that it remains as pristine as the day it was struck. Others may have come from limited production runs or been part of commemorative collections, further enhancing their scarcity. Beyond the physical beauty and rarity, there is also the deeper historical connection. By 2011, Queen Elizabeth II had already celebrated numerous milestones. Her Golden Jubilee in 2002, decades of political and social change, and the ongoing transformation of the Commonwealth. The coins of this era, particularly those bearing her image, are not just money, they are historical documents, telling the story of Britain's evolution through the reign of one of its most iconic monarchs. Each 2-pence coin from 2011, then, is both an artifact and a testament to a living legacy. Collectors around the world seek out these coins not merely for their metallic composition but for their symbolic resonance. British coinage has always held a special place in numismatic circles, admired for its artistry, heritage, and consistency. For international collectors, owning a piece of Britain's currency is akin to holding a small piece of the nation itself. The 2011 2-pence, with its blend of modern design and historical gravitas, embodies this appeal perfectly. The journey of such a coin from an everyday object to a high-value collectible is often unpredictable. Some coins begin their life in circulation, passing from hand to hand in shops, markets, and pubs, only to be plucked from obscurity by a keen-eyed collector. Others never see the light of day beyond their protective cases, destined from the start to be coveted treasures. Over time, as fewer pristine examples remain and demand grows, the value begins to climb, sometimes to astonishing heights. In the case of the 2011 Elizabeth II 2-pence, certain rare and flawless specimens have captured the attention of serious investors. Auction houses specializing in rare coins have witnessed spirited bidding wars over such pieces, the final hammer price reflecting both the rarity of the coin and the intensity of collector passion. The allure is compounded when the coin is graded by a professional numismatic service, receiving a high grade that certifies its condition. A perfect, mint state grading can be the difference between a coin worth a modest sum and one commanding eye-watering figures. The fascination with rare British coins is not a new phenomenon. For centuries, collectors have sought out unique and valuable examples, from gold sovereigns to silver crowns. What is remarkable about the modern 2-pence is that it belongs to a denomination still in everyday use, yet certain examples have transcended their humble purpose to become objects of desire among the world's most discerning collectors. This transformation from common currency to high-value artifacts speaks to the unpredictable magic of numismatics, the way chance, history, and human desire can converge in the smallest of objects. The 2011 2-pence is, at its heart, a bridge between tradition and modernity. It retains the image of a monarch who has been a constant presence for generations, yet its design reflects the bold artistic vision of the 21st century. It is part of a unified coinage system that celebrates national heritage while embracing innovation. This balance is part of what makes it so compelling. Holding one in your hand is like holding a fragment of a much larger story, a story that stretches back through centuries of British history and forward into the unknown future. For those lucky enough to own one of the rarest and most pristine examples, the rewards are more than just emotional. The numismatic market has seen these coins achieve staggering valuations, the most exceptional 2011 2-pence coins reaching figures that would seem unimaginable for such a small denomination. In the upper echelons of rarity and condition, this humble copper-plated steel disc has been known to command as much as $15 million. Such a price reflects not only its scarcity and condition but the deep and enduring fascination that collectors have with coins that tell a story that is uniquely British yet universal in its themes of heritage, artistry, and the passage of time. And so, the 2011 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin stands as proof that greatness is not always measured in size or denomination. Sometimes, the most extraordinary treasures are the ones that fit quietly in the palm of your hand, carrying with them the weight of history, the beauty of art, and the thrill of discovery. For those who seek them out, they are not just coins, they are time capsules, miniature works of art, and investments in the legacy of a nation. In the end, what might once have been given in change for a cup of tea has, for the rarest among them, become a prize worth millions, a glittering jewel in the crown of any collection. And that, perhaps, is the real magic of the 2011 2-pence, an everyday coin transformed into a legend, its value not merely in metal, but in the story it tells.